get her seat.
Do you come often here?
I've been here once before.
Awesome. And you like it?
I do.
Yeah, I saw you in the festival.
Oh, you saw the Twitter picture of me in front of the Eiffel Tower?
It was great. But the weather was really well. The weather was better for the day.
Well, no, I like it cool. Yeah, I can wear a jacket. I like this jacket. Actually, TJ bought this for me. TJ and Tamara from the show bought this whole outfit for me for my birthday last year. Yeah. So I like it when it's cold enough to wear it.
I'm not going to ask you if that is coming back from bones. But I would like to know why is it like? Is it because of the storyline, or is it because you're running out of time?
I think they just decided to move on to having more, you know, they have the rotating cast of interns, they call the squinterns. So I think they just moved on to having those other characters. And I think they also feel like if they brought Zach back, that everybody would like, you know, want him back for good. But I don't really have the full answer to that question. But I don't think he's going to be back because they've moved on. Zach hasn't been on the show for the last 2 seasons. So I don't think they're going to, but I would love it if they did. I know there are a lot of people that would love it if he came back. So if they did want me back, I would absolutely say yes.
What do you like the most about your character?
What I like the most about my character? It's really fun. I liked how smart he was, and it was kind of fun how stupid he was and other things too. And you know, it was my first time being a series regular on a TV show, and that was so exciting. Just so exciting to get to work on so many different scripts, like a new story. Like, because I came from the stage where you do the same show over and over, but to get to week after week do new stuff and a new exploration of the character, and to have him start out as an assistant and then become a doctor himself. I liked how the character grew. And he grew into then going off to Iraq and then becoming Gormagon's apprentice. He really went on a long journey of doing so many different things, and I thought that was great. My character wasn't boring.
Are you disappointed having a love interest?
Oh, I was. I always wanted a love interest. I always said, like, I wanted my own assistant, and it would be nice if I had my own assistant who turned into a love interest. And I could have both. Yeah, I know, but it would have been nice for Zach to get an assistant, Zach to get an intern for him to train.
Did bones help you your series? Like, did you use it to recruit someone?
Well, yes and no. I mean, all that speaking definitely some rubbed off on me, all the complicated words. But as an actor, it's not so much that I understand it, but that I look like I understand it. So I think sometimes it looks like I know more than I do. But somebody actually wanted me to do a web series, an episode of a web series, and they wanted my character, and they wanted improvised, and they wanted my character to talk about bone stuff. And I'd be like, I don't know any bones things. I can't improvise about bones.
Are you still watching the show? Do you still like it?
I do like it. I do like it. I like it a lot. I will see a rerun on TV every now and then because they're in reruns on TNT, and you know, I'll flip by and see it, and I'll be like, oh, that was fun. Whenever I see an episode or I see a video, people make videos on YouTube and they show scenes of the show, I'm always like, wow, look at all the work we did. It's like a flashback, your life flashing before your eyes. And in terms of the show now, I peek in from time to time. I remember when they said they were going to kill someone, and I was like, when they killed off Vincent Nigel Murray, is that his name? Vincent, his character's name? And but I didn't know who they were killing off, so I was like, oh, I gotta tune in to find out who they're killing off.
We were like this too.
Yeah, and I like to check in on Brennan being pregnant. was pregnant. She has a beautiful baby boy named Henry. Yes. The Grave Digger was the scariest. I mean, when that episode started and Hodgins and Brennan are trapped in the car, it was like, it freaked me out. I mean, that's like a really scary thing, of being trapped underground. And, oh my God, I was just like freaking out. I was really into that episode when I watched it. I thought that was really intense.
I think it's one of the fans' favorite episodes.
Really?
In the season 3 of Roads, you filming Morgan's actors. Was it really all along, or was it a last-minute thing because of the writer's strike?
It was a last-minute thing because of the writer's strike. To be honest, yeah. I mean, if they were doing it, they didn't let me know. So it wasn't like I played the whole season knowing that I was the apprentice. It wasn't something I knew until we got back from the writer's strike and they asked me to come in and talk to them. I was like, oh no, what are they going to say? They're like, well, you're going to be off the show as a regular. And I was like, oh. And then they said, that you're going to be Gormagon's apprentice. And I was like, really? And I was excited about it because you always like as an actor when anything interesting or exciting happens to your character. And that was very exciting and very interesting. So I was those last 2 episodes we shot, including the episode where you found out that I was the apprentice, I really enjoyed shooting that. I really enjoyed that a lot. The scene in the bed in the hospital, I really enjoyed that.
You don't want him to go.
I didn't want him to go. Yeah, I didn't want him to go. I told Samara, who plays Cam, after we shot the scene when I was in the bed and telling Booth and Brennan that I did it, I went over to her after we did a take and I hugged her and I was like, I don't want to go. Yes.
Which one is your favorite? And what do you think about the
Well, I think they're all very good actors. I don't think I can pick a favorite. They're all really good actors who've really done some great things outside the movies. Like Joel David Moore, who went on to do Avatar. And I loved, what's the name of the girl who plays Daisy? Yes, and she was in one of my favorite movies, Get 'Em to the Greek. Did you see that? And she was so funny in that. So I think they're all such great actors. And I think Bowen, I love Wendell. He's cute, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's dreamy.
What do you think about the switching of these materials in every episode?
Well, I haven't watched it regularly to know, but I think it probably makes the show very interesting to kind of have something different every time. But I haven't watched the show regularly enough to know to answer that question.
Do you recognize something about you?
About me?
About you?
In the character?
Yeah.
Well, I was smart as a kid. I don't know, I'm smart now.
You're not anymore.
As a kid, I was very accelerated. I skipped the 7th grade. I was valedictorian. And then I didn't really go into an academic field. I went into musical theater in college and got into acting and singing, and that was what I was mostly into. And I don't know if I'm still smart, but I was. So I really think whenever I audition for roles, and the role that I'm auditioning for is supposed to be smart, for some reason I think I'm very believable. I don't know if I'm not that smart in real life, but I think people see me and buy that I'm smart. I think there's something about me or whatever that makes people think like they believe that. So maybe the way I talk, or I don't know.
Can you tell us about one of your favorite moments during the shooting?
Favorite moment during the shoot? Well, like I said, I loved that last one. That was fun, even though it was sad. It's fun to play sad. And I loved Christmas episode. The first one, it was so much fun. We were just looking at pictures TJ brought of us when we were in our towels after we got the shower. That was fun. The Gravedigger episode was fun because it was all of us working together to solve it. And so it was very intense and we all got to contribute. I loved the first serial killer episode, Man on Death Row, where I went out and took pictures of the parking lot and then realized what had happened. What other episodes did I like? I liked the one, the superhero in the alley. That was a fun one. Yeah, those are the main ones. Like, it was nice when Zach got his doctorate and Judas on a pole. That was a good episode. It was fun for me because my character got to do a lot. Yeah, no, those are the episodes that I remember the most.
The worst memory about the show.
Worst memory about the show. Jeez. No, I had so much fun. Was there a worst memory? I mean, it was sad when I found out I wasn't going to be on the show anymore. That episode was fun to film, but I was not happy about leaving the show. So that was, but it ended on such a fun note, acting-wise. I really had fun. The cast is so good. Really nice people. They're very talented. And so, getting to go to work with them. And then Hart Hansen, who writes it, the creator of the show, is so talented and so kind. And to get to work with him. And he always brought in good people to work with us. So, hard for me to talk about the worst when it was such nice people, when there were such nice people.
The last one? Can you tell us about your new project? You know that something for Broadway?
I'm not doing anything on Broadway now. I was in Jesus Christ Superstar on Broadway back in 2000. And that was my big Broadway debut. And since then, I've done quite a few shows. I did a show right before I did Bones called Harold and Maude, the musical. So that was like my big break. But since I did Bones, I did in 2006, I did Parks and Penzance at Eugene Opera. And now since I've left Bones, I did a cabaret show, and I do a cabaret show every 4 years. I did a cabaret show in New York in 2008, and I'm planning one now, all new music. And it's going to be on October 12th in New York at Don't Tell Mama Cabaret. And I'm very excited about that. And I just did a movie. It's called Lady Peacock, an independent film that was shot in New York. I play it's about kind of a bunch of young gay men, and they end up rivaling for the same affection, and there's like this big drag contest. And I played the owner of the club's husband, who runs a cupcake shop and teaches cupcake making. So that was really fun. And then in January, I'm supposed to go do a movie that shoots in Italy. It's a British company that shoots in Italy. And it's been postponed a lot, so I'm just kind of waiting for it to get started. It's called Disorientated. It's a fantastic role. It's a thriller. It's about I play an English teacher in Italy who winds up killing the students' parents. Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't get that away, I guess.
You're gonna be a murderer again?
Again, yeah. I don't know, people think I look good as smart, people think I look good as a killer. I did, before Bones, I did a TV show that Sidney Lumet directed and wrote called 100 Center Street. He actually didn't write the episode I did, but he was the creator of the show. And in that episode, it was for the A&E network, and in that episode I set a homeless man on fire. So, yeah, so I think people believe me, I guess, as killers. But what else am I doing since I left Bones? Yeah, just looking for the right project. You know, I'd love to go back to Broadway, and it's just about finding the right project to do that. And yeah, I look forward to getting back on the stage soon.
Thanks a lot for the interview, really good.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Of course.
Online.
Yes, we know. We're big fans of that, yes.
Yeah.
We know Bones Online very much. We're big fans of that over there.
That's really good.
Yeah, very aware of Bones Online. Yeah, that's great.
And we're really glad to see you.
I'm so happy to be here. It's so neat. It's a great time. What is this?
Some preference for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What is it? May I look?
Yes.
Ooh, yum. Thank you. I haven't eaten, so that's very helpful. I really appreciate that. That's very nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So are you both from here? Are you from Paris?
Yes.
You're from here. And how long have you been working for Bones Online?
2 years now.
Yes.
Yes. And do you love it? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Especially when we can meet you.
Yeah, right? Have you met anyone else?
No, you're the first two ones.
You need to come to Los Angeles and come visit the set. Why don't you? You guys should.
Maybe.
You are welcome. I'm telling you, you're welcome. So if you guys want to come,
That's
you're
really
welcome.
nice.
Yeah. It's a neat place to come and visit.
Yeah.
You should come visit. Okay, ask me anything you want.
Bienvenue en France.
What? Was that in French?
Yes.
Oh, I don't speak French.
Welcome to France.
Thank you. Merci, thank you. I wish I spoke French. Well, I've always wanted to. I have the Rosetta Stone for French, but I don't have time to sit and do it. But before I leave today, I hope to learn. So.
Do you come often to France?
I came to Paris, well, France, for the first time about 10 years ago, and I fell in love with it. I was in Paris and the Loire Valley and Nice and Cannes and Saint-Tropez, and I loved France. So I came back again to Paris 2 years ago for New Year's. My friend and I came over and celebrated New Year's here, and it was amazing. So then about 6 weeks ago, I was here again. I was doing some work in Africa, doing some charity work, and then I came here shortly after that and just ran around Paris, and I just loved it. So as soon as I heard that this was going on, I was like, I have to go. It combines my two favorite things, Bones and Paris, so I have to go. So I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, what can you tell us about the new season of Bones?
Well, tell me, in France, the new season is season 7, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what has been going on so far? I don't want to ruin anything.
Brennan is still pregnant.
She's pregnant, okay, yes.
But we have seen the whole season.
You've seen it all?
Yeah, we're waiting for season 8.
Okay, so I can talk to you about things and you'll only release when?
Avec Pelante.
Oh, you know about Pelante stuff, okay. So, do you want to know about season 8 or you want to know about season 7? Well, you know of season 7.
Yeah.
So, season 8, I can tell you so far. I just finished shooting episode 4 of season 8. Pelante comes back, and he's worse than ever. Brennan is out she's running. We don't know where she is. The team has no idea where she is. And have you seen season 8 of her? No, not yet, right?
Do you have the sneak peeks?
Okay, so you saw that whole episode?
No.
Just sneak peeks. Okay, so she's on the run, and we end up getting her back in the team. We all work together to be able to get her off the hook. But what I can tell you, and I won't tell your fans, is that Pelante gets away again. You know, he uses his legal ability to protect himself, so he gets away. So he's going to come back throughout season 8. We're going to keep trying to hunt him down. And the problem with Pelante is that, unlike the Gravedigger, and even in season 1 when we had our serial killers, we've had a few serial killers come in. The Gravedigger was kind of the worst up until Pelante. And she was the most, she physically hurt us, but Pelante mentally and spiritually starts hurting us. He starts to get under our skin, and we all start unraveling, and that's scary because we're kind of a team of superheroes, you know? I mean, that group of people with their brains are kind of superheroes, and they're kind of untouchable, but Pelante is a little bit of kryptonite for them, and he slowly starts to pick away at each of the team, and so it's going to get really bad. So I can tell you that. I can tell you that Booth and Brennan are struggling with her return because she ran away, even though he's madly in love with her and she's madly in love with him. Throughout the season, you see these little fights. I just did a scene in this past episode where Cam and I are at a crime scene with David Nelly, with Booth and Brennan, and we're watching them fight, and we're just kind of like, dude, this keeps happening. It's kind of a pattern that starts out where she feels like she knows more than he does now, and he's getting frustrated and he's being challenged. So that's kind of a dynamic that's a little difficult. Also, I saying too much?
Oh.
Angela and I, something's starting where she is feeling more and more like she wants to become the artist she used to be. We're seeing that more and more this season already, where I think for a while there, Angela got into the habit of just being at the lab and being in this world. But I believe that Angela, at the end of the day, wants to be a mother, a wife, and an artist. And that's what she wants to be. I don't think she has any interest, really, in staying in this world. I don't know if that's true or not, but we're starting to see these little rumblings of her saying, is this really all my life is? Whereas Jack loves this world. It's everything he lives for. And Jack wants to be, the bugs, the slime, the experiments. So Jack wants to be a husband, father, and scientist. So I have a feeling the two of them might start to see some difficulty in their relationship. Well, I don't know, we'll see. And then Cam's about to have a relationship, but I won't tell you with him.
Hutchinson was talking about meeting a part of the Hutchins family this season, maybe his brother. Are you excited about it?
Very excited about that. We had a conversation before I left about there's two possible casting options for that role, and I won't share them, but I'm excited about both of them. It would be really neat, and the storyline around that interaction between Hutchins and his brother is a great one, so I hope that it happens. But what I love about Art Hansen is that he won't do the story unless he finds the right cast member, so that's kind of great. So if we can get one of these two gentlemen or someone else of their stature and ability, then that storyline will come to fruition. If not, we'll have to wait until that comes to the table. But it would be neat to see his family members, because as far as we know right now, Jack is the sole heir. He's the only remaining member of that family. So for him to all of a sudden have a brother would be really neat to see. Am I talking too much? I always talk so much.
We know Hutchins as a scientist, but would you like to see him more as a rich businessman?
Businessman?
Yeah.
Oh, a rich businessman. It's funny because I don't really think that he was ever a businessman. I think that the way that I see it is that his parents, which we don't know about, it's still a story that we haven't yet revealed, but his parents made billions of dollars in business in this cantilever group. Kind of the largest or the fourth richest independent company in the U.S. And I feel like Hutchins, Jack, as a kid, rebelled against that even when his parents were around. So he didn't want anything to do with their money. He didn't want anything to do with what they went through, which is why he's a conspiracy theorist. I believe he's a conspiracy theorist because of what he had to witness as a child, not because of just ideas he has in his head, but things that he saw happen. I think he was actually in meetings and things as a child with his father and parents, and he saw things that he never wanted to see. And because of that, I believe he got kind of hard. Having said that, he was so intelligent and smart that season 1, he wanted Dr. Brennan and team to only know him as a scientist, so no one knew he had money. But once they found out he had money, he was kind of like, all right, the cat's out of the bag, he has money. But I don't think Jack, even the way he wears his clothes and what he does, I don't think he spends his money in any way in business or anything like that. I believe that Jack keeps the business running for what it is and makes money, but I mean, he's probably buying Angela some nice things, and Michael Vincent, his son. But outside of that, I think if Jack had it his way, he would be a scientist through and through for the end of time, whether he had money or not.
Will you direct an episode like David did?
Will I direct an episode like David did? Oh, wow, that's a great question. I do a lot of things outside of Bones. I direct a lot of things, and I produce a lot of things outside. And so I've done quite a lot of directing. I love directing. I don't know if that is something that would be slated for me to do. I think what I'd love to see next is Emily direct an episode, which I know she's slated to do that. We all want her to do it. So because she's so busy in her personal life with her beautiful new baby, I don't know that that's going to happen this season or not, but it would be great to see Emily direct. If Emily directs and then David directs a few others, then yes, I would love to be next in line and get out there and direct, because I love doing it. It's so fun for me to direct. Yeah.
My first memory of you was in Friends.
Oh, Friends, yeah.
Then I remember How High.
Oh, How High, oh my gosh.
When you were wearing after your back.
Yeah, Officer Picklestein, that's right.
Which one do you
a commercial. The next week I'm doing a movie with Robert De Niro. The next week I'm shooting Aaron Brockovich. Then I'm doing How I only knew that world. So when it came time to consider taking this role, I had pause because I thought, I don't know if I want to dedicate 6 years of my life to a show. The reason why I say 6 years is that in the US, when an actor signs on to do a television show, it's a 6-year contract. So that's a big commitment level. And at the time, I was like, I don't know. And now this was back in the day when Bugs was just starting. So television wasn't yet like what it is today, where everyone has come back to television now. But at the time, it was still, wow, am I having to choose between a film career and a TV career if I take this role? And I was hesitant. But then when I read the script and I met with Hart Hanson and I met with the other cast members, I thought, oh, this is definitely what I want to do. And we had no idea if it was going to last or what. Now here we are, 7 years later, 8 seasons later, and I don't want it to end anytime soon. I'm having such a great time. It's so fun. So it's been a really amazing learning curve for all of us because David is the only one on our TV show who has played the same role for 10 years. He played Angel for 10 years. He's only played Booth for 8 at this point, or 8 seasons. So it'll be really interesting to see, for all of us, I guess, right? Sorry. You know, it's kind of neat to play the same role for so long, so I much prefer that. I think if I really, my dream is to play Jack Hodgins throughout the year, and then on my hiatus keep shooting movies and stuff.
Last question. Currently, have you some other projects besides?
Yes, I actually just finished doing a kind of a United States tour of Shuffle, which is a feature film that I made. I did a short film online many years ago called Validation. And so I got together with the director and producer and writer Kurt Kenny of Validation, and he and I collaborated again with Theater Junkies group, and we made a feature film called Shuffle, which just came out. It features Tamara Taylor also from Bones, and it's a lot of fun. It's a different kind of story. It's our first feature film. It's a love story through an adventure that takes 9 decades